Hello. I guess at some stage or other you've had chance to watch one of those television programs where people bring their items for valuation, programs like Antiques Roadshow, for example, when people bring a painting or a vase or piece of furniture. They'll say that it's just out of idle curiosity or sentimental interest, but of course we know deep down they're hoping for a high valuation. And we can't blame them for that. I'd be the same. One of the questions, though, that the expert sometimes asks is, has there been any repair work? Has the item been restored? For example, if it was a painting, the expert might ask whether or not there's been any restoration work, and if there has, notice that it's been done in a way which is unsympathetic to its original form, maybe in a way that suggests the restorer wasn't familiar with the characteristics of the artist or the designer. And then the expert has the job of informing the owner that it's of little value, even though from the outside it might look very similar to another item. The restoring work was good inasmuch that it did a good job cosmetically. There's a verse in Psalm 51 that says, "Restore to me the joy of your salvation." We're living in times when people are looking out for a restoration of joy. And there are a lot of noises and suggestions and theories as to how we can receive that restoration of joy. We have to be very discerning. We have to be very careful. I love Psalm 51. It's a psalm, of course, where David addresses some bad choices that he's made, but we also see something of the integrity and the honesty and the openness of that great man of God. I like to read from verse 10 through to 12, and in many ways use it as a prayer or a declaration, maybe at the beginning of a new day. Verse 10 says, "Create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me." Create in me a pure heart. I think in terms of turning over a page in a book, maybe a daily journal, and maybe yesterday wasn't so great for whatever reason, but we're looking at a clean slate, a clean page. Create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me. Do not cast me from your presence or take your Holy Spirit from me. How good to know that God has promised to never leave us or forsake us, and that his Spirit dwelling within us helps us and guides us. And then we come to this key verse, "Restore to me the joy of your salvation." And I know that it's key that when we're looking to how our joy can be restored, that we look in the right places, rather than just go on some sort of virtual search. We don't look in the wrong places, but we look to our salvation. Restore to me the joy of your salvation, and grant me a willing spirit to sustain me. We know that the joy of the Lord is our strength. And to finish with, I just want to borrow a verse from another psalm, Psalm 16. We know that in his presence there is fullness of joy.